everybody, it's Lisa, Crimson Greenway, and today is Thursday, January 6th, and I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Happy 2022, all. I know it's going to be a better year this year, especially with all you stitchers out there. You are the most awesome group of people, so positive, so encouraging. You easily form friendships that are life-lasting, and I know I personally am so appreciative, and I know my 2021 was better because of you, and I know for sure 2022 will be also. So here I am in my kitchen. Yes, I am showing you a canning jar filled with dried onion skins, because today I'm going to show you my technique of dyeing paper. I did this a couple months ago as an experiment when I kind of got into some paper crafting, and I dyed a bunch of it, and quite honestly I think I've used up at least 85 to 90% of it because I think it was so awesome. As you know, I like everything prim, everything to look old and crusty and yellowed and dark. And so today I'm going to do another batch. So since the last time, I've been saving my onion skins in a canning jar. You want to use the skins that are just on the outside of the onion, so they're the ones that are crunchy and dried. I do not use the ones that are close to the onion itself that are kind of moist because I don't want any mold to form. And I've saved red onion as well as the yellow onion, and a friend of mine at work has been saving for me too, and she even saved me some white onion and some garlic skin. And then just this morning, believe it or not, I planted some paper whites. My husband had given me a little kit for Christmas, and I just did it this morning, and left over in the baggie is some dried skin from the outside of the bulbs that are more in the brown tone. And I think I'm just gonna throw those in there too, why not? And this is my friend from work who sends me a bunch in a Ziploc bag. So we are gonna take all of these and throw them into a big old stock pot. So here we go. I already have a few in there that I started, as you can see, and we're going to dump the rest in. Of course, they don't want to come out, and I'm trying to hold the phone at the same time, but I think we possibly can do this. Let's see if we can shake them out here. Get them in there. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, there we go. Some are coming. All right, let's get those red ones out of there. There we go. I'm getting there. There we go. We got all of those out. And now, as I said, I'm going to use these from this little bag of the brown from the outside of the bulbs. Why not? Why not? Here's a couple stray ones I'm going to throw in there. And then I'm going to open the Ziploc here, and we're going to dump all the ones from the Ziploc in here too. And look at that. Oh, look at that. So there you go. I don't know, it's filling maybe half of the stock pot, give or take. And so our next step will be to get some water. So if you want to hang on just 1 second, I'm going to come on over to my sink area, and we're going to fill this with some water. The water's just lukewarm, I'd say. I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Last time, honestly, I felt like I didn't quite have enough, so I think I'm gonna put a little more water in here than I did last time. Not that I specifically remember how much I put in, but I'm gonna kind of press them down in there. Press them down in there so we can kind of see what we got here. And I'm thinking I'm gonna fill this about 3/4 so that I have plenty. I think last time I made two different receptacles. I think I used one was the tray that I got with my oven, which was quite large because I had some bigger pieces of paper. And then I think I used like a regular 9 by 13 like casserole dish type thing, because you have to layer your paper in there one by one. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna fill this. I think that's probably pretty good. I think that's probably about 3/4. All right, so I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, guys. So you're gonna get a little close to this. I'm gonna bring this back over to the stove. Here we are. There we are. Look at that. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on high. And I'm going to cover this up, and we are gonna let it boil, and then we are gonna simmer. I'm going to say I'm probably gonna simmer at least an hour, if not 2 or 3. It just depends how the liquid looks. Obviously it's clear right now, but it will get a very deep kind of amber color, I'm going to say, just based on my one previous experience. All right, guys, so I'll be back soon to continue, and we'll splice these little videos together. Catch you soon. Okay, kids, so it's been simmering for a couple hours, and this is what we got. There we are. Can you see that very rich, dark liquid? To me, that's liquid gold. Liquid gold. So what we're going to do next, I know it's kind of foggy here. What we're going to do next is we're going to bring out the skins. And at our house, we have something called a compost. We have a bin out in our garden that we put all our compost, and then come springtime, my husband kind of works it into the soil. This year we left our garden fallow, but maybe next summer we'll have one. We'll see how it goes. But we're just gonna put all this in my compost bin with all sorts of other vegetable scraps. Today I actually made an apple crisp, so there's a bunch of apple core and apple peels in there. I'm also cooking up a vegetable soup, so there's a lot of scraps in there. So yeah, here we go. We're just bringing these out. The liquid has a faint oniony smell. I don't feel it's very strong, but I suppose everybody's sniffer is a little different. But look at these coming out here. Wowza. Yeah, that's a rich, dark liquid. We're gonna see how this paper is gonna come out. I've been gathering some papers. Last time I didn't do too much of my heavier paper that I usually use for my books, and I was sorry that I hadn't, because it really did come out nice. So this time I'm gonna do a little bit more of a heavyweight paper. I think it's like around a 70 weight, 60, 70 weight paper. So I'm going to do a little more of that. I have some regular like loose leaf paper, which is a bit on the delicate side. I also last time liked how the index cards came out, so I have some of those. And we have a ton of old books. And so I have a couple old books I'm going to tear pages out of, which they are already kind of naturally yellowed, but this is really going to make them look awesome. And then, don't tell my daughter, but I was digging through her music, and I found a few sheets of music that I don't think she really needs, that I'm going to dunk also. Oh, this thing is full. When my son comes home, I'm gonna have him take this outside because this thing is full. It is overflowing. It is overflowing. Yep. Just trying to get all the skins out of here. Yep. Still have some here. So I'm going to proceed to try to get all the skins out of here, and then I will be back in a bit to put this in a couple receptacles and start dunking some paper. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Okay, everybody, we're at the next step. I have poured the liquid into a couple different containers. One is like about a 9 by 13, and the other is the tray from my oven to fit larger pieces of paper. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to gather your pile, and you're going to take them one by one, and you're going to submerge them one by one. You want to get it completely submerged here. There we go. And then you can just go ahead and continue to pile them on top of one another, just like this. There's a little piece of onion there, but that's okay. I got most of it out, and we're just going to continue to do this, and we're actually probably going to have to let it sit for about an hour, give or take. Obviously, the longer you have it sit, the darker the color will be. And these are the heavier papers I was telling you about earlier. They are about, I think they're about a 70 weight, give or take. I actually used up a couple of my pads. I'll kind of show you here. I have them here. So this one is a Strathmore, and this one's an 80 weight. I had a few pages left in that one. And let's see, this one is also a Strathmore. And that's a 70-pound weight. So I just used up a couple of those. Oops, trying to get them apart here. There we go. Now, believe it or not, you would think that getting paper wet like this, it would just completely fall apart, but surprisingly, it holds up pretty well. Holds up pretty well. And you will see how things go here. Almost to the end of the higher weight papers, and then I'll show you that I have I have some other papers that I've torn out of some old books. This is the last one of these. Get this all submerged here. Really cool. Really cool. Okay, so there we go. There we go. And now here's some book papers, and I'm going to put these over here. Some book papers. And we'll just keep piling them on one by one. This book actually, well, these are very old books. One of them's a crochet book, and one of them's a learn how to sew book. I have to say the paper is nice and hefty. And they already have a little bit of yellowness to it. You can tell that they have a little bit of yellowness to them already. But I just keep throwing them in here. Some of this crochet. Oops, you don't want to do two at once. I kind of got caught there. I'll put one over here, I guess. Why not? Over on this side. This side's pretty full though. Put this one over here. And keep on going. Oh, is that two again or no? Oh, look it. I keep getting caught up here with two of them. It's not good. Of course, it doesn't want to come apart. Okay, hang tight here. There we go. I got it apart. It's hard to hold the camera on. I'm tear them apart at the same time. This one I guess I'll just leave over here. Here's a couple more. These are awesome for paper crafts. I continue to intermittently do paper crafts. I like the Paper Outpost. I also like the gal from Treasure Books, and trying to think the other YouTuber paper person I watch is Nick the Booksmith. If anybody out there has found some neat paper crafters, please let me know. I'm always on the lookout for some new channels, new ideas. They are all very inspiring. And quite often, as I've said in the past, the quick little paper crafts often are quick and satisfying finishes that can be done in an hour or so, which for me makes it super fun. Now I have some next cards I was telling you about. We're gonna do those. Over here, we can get those in there. And then we'll go here. I'm not keeping the camera on here very well. Yeah, these were fun. A couple months ago, I used these to make these little tiny little books, if you want to say. A couple of them I used as decorations on my tree. A couple of them I passed along to a few friends. But they were fun to make. One of the other things I made little booklets out of were playing cards. Now those are coated, so I have not attempted to do this with a playing card. I'm not sure it would do anything because it has that kind of coating on them. So I don't think it would take up any of this. Now here's just some regular lined paper. Now this is a bit more delicate. As you can see, it kind of wrinkles up a bit. We'll see how that comes out. This definitely doesn't hold up as well as some of the other thicker papers, but we're gonna throw some in there. And let's see, underneath here, basically just have some copy paper. Oh, some of it's gotten wet already. With a little bit of music on it, which might be fun. Oh, see, that one tore already a little bit. See, some of them are more delicate than others. Yeah, that one tore a little bit. Well, we'll see how we go. You know, if we have some casualties, that's okay, because we're doing a bunch today. We have a few casualties, I'm not concerned about it. This is just paper that's been hanging around my house. So why not do something fun and give it a try, right? I'm always about using up what you have. That's my motto. Use up what you have. Not as to say I don't buy things, because I do. Past year I've had this terrible obsession with buying crafting books. I bought quilt books and cross stitch books and wool books, and I have really become obsessed with crafting books. I've said before I don't often buy a whole lot. Individual patterns, a few here and there, but if you show me a crafting book, I'm kind of go crazy over it. I forgot. Oh gosh, I wish I could remember. Somebody recently I was watching had shown a really cool looking quilting book, and I did go on Abe Books and found a used one for like $12 or something, but I didn't pull the trigger. I just put it in my shopping cart because I said to myself, do you really need another book? but who knows, I might eventually get it. Sometimes it's fun just to peruse the books, don't you think? Just to lay in bed before you're falling asleep, maybe for 10 minutes or so, and just look at all the beautiful projects. I just find that fun. I'm sure a lot of people do that type of stuff. You just relax and you look through the books and you dream about future projects. Sometimes that's just as much fun as actually doing a project. This is my last piece, guys. And I've made a mess with drips all over the place. But here we are. Last piece. And here's my other tray. And we are going to let this sit, as I said, for about an hour. And then we'll be back to take them out and put them in the oven. Talk to you soon. Okay, here we are at our next step. These have been soaking a couple hours, and now we're going to take them out. We're going to kind of drain it a bit. It will dry quicker in the oven if you kind of drain it, and then you're just going to set it out on your cookie sheet like that, and then you're going to pop this in the oven. I just set my oven on 200. Takes maybe 3-4 minutes, but you got to stand there and watch it. So I'm going to take this and set it right in the oven. And then I'm going to take another of my old cookie trays. You can tell these are pretty old. They've been used many, many times. And we're going to drain this. As you can see, get as much liquid off it as you can. And we're just going to set it down flat, and we're going to pop that one in the oven. And I want to show you that I've done a bunch already. So as you can see, here are the index cards. Some are a little bit more yellowed than others. This light is kind of harsh. It's not giving true color to these things. These are very yellow, but on the camera it doesn't look that way. Let me turn this light off just to see if it makes a difference so you can see better. Yeah, I think this is more of a true color. You can kind of see it there. These are definitely very yellowed. Here's some of the book paper, or loose leaf I should say. Here's school. What else do I have here? Oh, here's some of the book pages. You can kind of see that. Gives it a very, let's see what else I have here. Here are the pages, as you can see. Definitely a nice yellowed look. Here's some of the thicker paper here on the bottom. And you get a lot of kind of staining to it, which I like. Here's one here. I like how you get that kind of stain to it. And so let me hang on here, and we'll see if we can bring one of these. Oh, we're not quite done yet. So let me, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to show you in the oven so you can kind of see what they look like. Hang on. Okay, everybody, so here we are in the last stages. As you can see, I'm at my ironing board, and I'm going to iron some up so you can see what a big difference it makes, so that these are much more usable because they do wrinkle quite a bit. So it's a bit of a pile. You can kind of see how super wrinkly they are. Here's one that's super wrinkly, and so I'm going to set an iron on that, and usually flip it over here, and we are much better. So I'm just gonna iron some up today. Sorry, this is probably, I have this mounted on the ironing board, so the camera's probably gonna wobble a little bit. But this is our last stages. And as you can see, I do a pretty big batch just because, you know, there is a lot of steps and it takes time, so I'd rather just do a whole bunch at once myself than smaller bunches. But the last one I made, I can't remember, I feel like it was a couple months ago, and as I said, I've gone through most of them. You know, I get in and out of different crafts. For a while there, was going crazy every day, was doing a paper craft. I have to be honest, the past few weeks I've been really into cross stitching. I've, I think, made some pretty good progress on my Hands Across the Sea Tom's Foolery piece. It's not a real large piece, however, it is packed with stitches. And it's not full coverage, but oh my goodness, it's darn close to that. And lots of little doodads. I forget, was that Brenda or Laura in the Blackbird Designs calls them doodads? Well, this little girl, whoever stitched this, she liked to doodads. And so there's tons and tons of them. But it is a fun stitch. I am enjoying it. It is kind of out of my wheelhouse, not in the fact that it's a sampler, because I love all samplers, but because of the bright colors. I'm usually, you know, in the Blackbird color line, which, as we know, is very muted. Oops, sorry guys, that fell. Hang on one second, let me get you guys set again. Will that stay? There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's see if I can. There we go. All right. So what I was saying is, yeah, with Blackbird, there's lots and lots of muted colors that I just love. Whereas in this Tom's Foolery, it is very bright, and I think even in the small piece, I think there's like 25 different colors, so there is lots of color changing. Question for you guys, has anybody ever used a tool called, oh gosh, see now I'm blanking on it, I think it's called a pack organizer? I think it might be either PAC or PACK, pack organizer. It just seems that it would be really helpful to use something like that with a project. Oh, this one's crunchy. A project that has multiple colors, and that you could kind of just load your needles and have them lined up and ready to go. So you could flip-flop between one and another. I don't have one of them. But you know me, this do-it-yourselfer. I keep thinking to myself, couldn't I just kind of fashion up a little makeshift one? But I haven't taken the time to see how many needles I can come up with. I'm not sure if I have 25 needles hanging around. Oh, these are crunchy. Wow. These ones are super crunchy. These are the thicker paper I was telling you about. You know, I have this set on polyester. I'm going to trial it on the higher linen setting just to see on these heavier papers if it would help a little bit. So I'm doing a little trial here. My index cards came out very nicely. I think quite flat. I'm happy with those. Let's see if the higher setting kind of makes a difference here. I think it might be. Well, I think it might be making a little bit of a difference. I don't know if it's making a ton of difference. This is a thicker paper. It's definitely a little more resistant, so it's going to have a bit of a wave to it, that thicker paper. let's see how this is the old loose lid. Let's see how that goes. Let's see, that ironed out pretty good. Yeah, the thinner papers iron out pretty good. The thicker papers a little bit on the tougher side, I guess. That's how it goes. That's okay though. I like them all. They'll get used eventually. When I get back into paper crafting this afternoon, I was hearing from Audrey about another paper crafter on YouTube. I think her name was Camilla. Camilla Designs. Sounded like she was from the UK, and she had a very nice channel with lots of different little sticky crafts. The one I was watching I thought was super nice was little tags she was making out of jumbo playing cards. I don't have any jumbo playing cards, but that does not mean I can't use my regular size and make some tags. She was using Tim Holtz, I forgot what it was called. Tim Holtz, some kind of special paper. It looked thin. I mean, I have to be honest, it looked almost like tissue paper, but she had another name for it. And it had floral motifs and such on it. But I thought to myself, I've seen a lot of other paper crafters actually use fancy napkins, like little cocktail napkins that have designs on it, and they peel off. Napkins, often those fancier ones are 2-ply, and so they often peel off the backing on them, and then they adhere it to different projects, probably thicker papers or cardboards or something like that. They I'm sure would adhere nicely onto the playing card. So I have that in the back of my mind that I might give that a try. I think I might have 1 or 2 fancy napkins around. I don't have a ton. I'm feeling like where I seem to see a fair amount of those seasonally is at Hobby Lobby, usually in the front of the store. And so I need to start keeping my eyes peeled, because then after the holiday, whether it be Christmas or Easter or spring or summer, they usually reduce them to like 80% off, and I'm sure I could pick up a bunch for very little. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. I don't go to Hobby Lobby too often, because if I did, I'd be broke, because I love everything in Hobby Lobby. But that's one of the new things I want to keep my eyes peeled for, is some of these napkins. The only place in our area that sells Tim Holtz products is Joann's, and again, I try not to go too often. But their selection is not the greatest. It has expanded over the past couple of years, but it's still not the greatest. I'm sure there are many sites online that these things can be obtained, but I'm cheap. I try to substitute, try to get things on sale. I try to do that type of stuff. I hate buying things at full price. It's just not my thing. One thing I'll pass along, which I'm sure a lot of you know this already, but twice a year, Bath & Body Works has a huge clearance sale, and one is the day after Christmas, and then the other one is sometime in June. And I always go to the one day after Christmas because they have 75% off. And I buy a bunch of lotions and hand soaps. I love the scented hand soaps, just like in your bathroom and in your kitchen. And at 75% off, they're like $1.50 or something like that. So like, they're super cheap. I know they have a lot of colors and fragrances. I'm fortunate my skin doesn't react to it. My daughter cannot use the lotions. She's okay with the soap, but she can't use the lotions. But I don't know, it's something I enjoy, so c'est la vie, right? C'est la vie. So yeah, this year I went and got a whole slew. But I am just rambling on and on, aren't I? I think Nicola from Hands Across the Street, she called that waffling. Now I'm waffling, and that's what I'm doing as I'm ironing here. So I am going to let you guys go. I'm hoping this little tutorial-ish video was helpful and that maybe some of you guys might try saving some of your onion skins and possibly dyeing some paper. As far as dyeing linen with onion skin, I have yet to give that a try. Maybe somebody out there has done that. If you have, I would love to see the results. And who knows, maybe next time I will give that a try. Let's see how we go on that score. But everybody, I wish you a very happy new year, a 2022 filled with good health and happiness and loads of crafting time. And please, please post them on Instagram. I get so much inspiration from everybody's posts, and it's just so much fun to connect. So please post them on Instagram. And if you are an Instagrammer, please leave a comment below and leave your Instagram page, because I would love to follow you and see what you've been crafting. Take care. Have fun. Bye.